Alright, had some guys wanting me to do a video going over my bow and my air setup and all that I'm using this year. And I'm up here at a buddy's place. I came up here to hunt with him for a few days, and I'm waiting on him. He's supposed to meet me here in about 30 minutes. And I figured this would be a good chance to shoot this video. Alright, so you know, my bow is a Centaur triple carbon elite. I had sworn off at the time when I had this built, I had sworn off all longbows shorter than 64 inches and all recurve shorter than 60. And but my buddy Dave out at Simmons, he told me, he said, I promise you, the longest bow he's built is 62 inches, but I promise you, you'll be able to shoot it. So I took his word for it and ordered it. And I had it built 63. I told him to shoot 60 to 65 pounds. And it ended up coming out 63 at 28. And this thing was built for one purpose, and that was to kill deer. It's got cocobolo and bacote in the riser. I had the stippling done on it. I had a thumb rest put on it, and it's also stippled. I had a little bit of engraving done to it. He put some deer tracks on here, and a really good likeness of a glue-on tree shark. And I had moccasin skins put on it. And Dave wasn't kidding. When I got it, I could shoot it. And man, it's been a fine bow ever since. And I'm on this quest to kill 100 deer with it. And I'm just hoping that it's gonna hold together, or I don't do something stupid and slam it in the truck door or something. But I'm at 80 deer kills with it right now. So got a little bit further to go on that. And the deeper I get into that goal, the more paranoid I get about something happening to this thing. My buddy Robert Carter had a bow that he had built several years ago, and he loved that thing. It's probably, if you ask him now, it's probably still his favorite bow that he's ever had, and it was called Mojo. And he ended up coming down one afternoon and had let that bow down, and he didn't know it, but it had leaned up against the side of the tree he was in. And when he climbed down with his climbing stand, he ended up crushing the limb on it. And I don't think he's ever got over that. But I'm just hoping that something like that don't happen to me. The arrows that I'm shooting this year are Black Eagle Vintage shafts, 350 spine. They're 30 1/8 from the back of point to the throat of the nock. I'm shooting the standard aluminum insert, 200 grain point, and I'm currently shooting a mix of screw in and glue on tree sharks. I started the season out with the screw ins, and I'm getting super low on those, and I've actually lost a couple of them to this point. And so I've had to start replacing them with the glue-ons. Ain't no big deal, they shoot the same. But I think total arrow weight is 542 on the shaft I checked. So it's gonna be somewhere right around that with all of them. Shoot 3 fletch. I've shot 4 fletch in the past, and I've just always preferred 3. I've always preferred a hard helical, and I've always preferred left helical. The reason for the hard helical is because I shoot a lot of stuff super close. I say super close, I mean I shoot a lot of stuff at single digit distances, and in case I make a bad release or anything goes wrong. I want that air shaft to straighten out just as quick as it possibly can, and it'll be flying perfect when it hits the animal. I've got a Selway quiver that my buddy Robert Carter gave me right when I got this bow, and I put it on it, and it's been on there ever since. I say he gave it, he might want it back when I'm done with it. That's fine. The thing about those style quivers, I love them, but when you get them, the hood's completely filled with foam, and you have no choice but to push that head all the way up in there. And I don't like my sharpened edge to come in contact with anything until it hits the animal. If you pay attention, just even if you only put it in there once, you slide it in there that one time, the vibration from you carrying that thing around and shooting over the course of a couple of weeks, you'll be able to tell a difference in that edge. So I always pull that foam out and cut about an inch off of it and put it back up in there, and then that allows me to, when I put my broadheads up into the foam, probably the last inch of that blade never comes in contact with anything, but they're still covered by the hood. So that's just one thing that I have always done. I'm shooting a Black Widow 300 Cordovan tab. It's probably the slickest tab I've ever shot. I've shot a bunch of Cordovan tabs, and I don't know if it's the splits in this thing, but I have to go up in spine considerably when I switch to this, which means there's a lot more energy being transferred to the air. I'm actually shooting a Centaur string, and I've always liked the Navajo string silencers that he makes too. But I don't know of anything else that I left out. One thing I will say about tuning on this bow, I've got probably close to 1/8 of an inch of build out on my side plate, and that's my starting point when I go to tune an arrow. And what that does is it allows me to, once I am tuned to that, it gives me some flexibility to move up or down on point weight, probably about 25 grains up or down. And just by simply building the side plate out a little bit further, if I go up in point weight, or I can remove that 1/8 of an inch that I put in there initially if I go down in point weight. So I'm right in the sweet spot with that 200 grain on the Treeshark, but I can go up to the great white if I wanted to, or down to like a tiger shark. It just allows me to switch things up if I take a notion to do that. But yeah, that's it. That's what I'm shooting, and hopefully I didn't leave anything out. And as soon as my buddy gets here, we're gonna load up and head to the woods, and hopefully we're gonna get to run air through something this afternoon.